Hi, and welcome to Do Something. It's a show where we make something cool with stuff we might find around the house. So today we're going to start with making a monster puppet. And he looks like this. He's got sharp teeth and googly eyes. You don't have to have just two because he's a monster. But in the end, you can do all that you want to do with it, and it's up to you. So we're going to start with paper and scissors and markers as materials. And then I like to use these cards here that have some color on them. And then I like to use glue stick or Elmer's glue. So we're going to start with a hot dog fold. So if you don't know what that is, it's taking a piece of computer paper, construction paper, and folding it the long way. But we need a little tab so that it can fold over. We need a space to put the glue, right where I showed. So I'm going to use a little bit of Elmer's. We're going to lift it up and we're going to do one long strip that follows down the paper. And I go back over it twice just to make sure I have enough. And then I smooth it out with my finger to make sure we don't have stuff sticking out the sides and getting gloppy and gross. So you want to smooth it out, and if you can, hold it for 10-20 seconds till it dries. Then we're going to flip it over and make sure that the seam is showing facing up towards you. Then we're going to fold the sides back so that we have this nice little zigzag at the end of our folding. And then what we're going to do is make a spot to put our fingers and our thumb in, and we can move it around like a puppet at that point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the teeth, and what you can do to make sure that they're the same on top and bottom is fold your paper in half and then you cut the shape, and when you do, you'll automatically get a double of what you cut. So if you're not sure you can do it, you can ask a parent or a friend to help you. And what I do then is I fold it in half and I make sure there's a little tab so that I have a space to put the glue. So when I unfold it, you can see there's a center seam, and I cut down that center seam with my scissors so that I have a duplicate of the same set of teeth. So I'll take a little glue here eventually and put those on my monster. But first what we're going to do is we're going to cut out some eyeballs. And here's another trick. We're going to take that scrap we had left over and we're going to rotate it in our hand. So you're just going to turn it as you cut, and you'll get a nice sort of circular shape. It's not a perfect circle, but it doesn't have to be because it's a monster, so he's got monster eyeballs. So next what we're going to do is we're going to use our marker and we're going to draw in his pupil. So what I do is I draw a C shape because it makes it look like it's got a highlight, and that gives the eyes a little bit more sparkle. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to add a little tabs just like we did with our teeth so that the eyeballs can attach to something. So we're going to cut our paper after we fold it in half so that it has the same shape on both sides. And we're going to make sure that we leave a tab because we need a spot for glue to go. So once you've folded it again, make a little tab for yourself. We're going to unfold it and see how there's that center seam. We're going to cut down the center seam, and we have these two kind of shark fin shapes, and that's where the eyeballs will go. Alright, so we'll assemble everything, put all of our elements together, and I think the next thing I'm going to do is make a tongue. So I find this pink piece of note card that's long, and I cut a little triangle in the bottom so it's forked like a snake's tongue. And then I'm going to fold it like an accordion. Accordion folds can do a lot of stuff, and we'll do those in the future for some fun project with springs. But for right now, it's just to give your tongue a little bit of zest, I guess. Now what we're going to do is we're going to assemble everything. So I put a little bit of glue on the tongue. I'm going to open up my monster's mouth, and I'm going to glue it into the back there. And I hold it down for, speeding up the video so that you don't have to wait around. But I put it in there, hold it down for 10 seconds or so. Count slow if you can. And next what we're going to do is we're going to add our teeth. So we're going to put glue on those tabs that we made sure we have, and it can help too, like smoothing it out, if you fold it over and push it down like I'm doing here. Make sure that you have a spot to work on. I'm using cardboard to work on top of so I don't get glue everywhere. But I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom teeth. Hold those in there, take 10 seconds if you can. That's that way. Now I got our teeth. Now we're going to work on the eyeballs. So same thing, you put glue on the strips, and I'm going to push them down if you can. I'm not really holding them down for 10 seconds there, but I'm speeding it up so I can show you guys how it works. And I'm going to fold the tab the opposite way so we get a mirror of that shape. And so you want them to be like a double of each other, and that's easy to do with paper. It has nothing on both sides. So now gluing on the eyeballs, try and line up the highlights in the eyes so that they point the same direction so that my monster looks like he's ready to go. Alright, so here I'm drawing the back of the mouth just to add some depth, so I make like a train tunnel or an upside down U, and I fill it in. And another thing you're going to see me do is outline some of the teeth, put a line on the tongue, just to make sure that it shows up clearly from a distance. So if I'm going to do the teeth, I don't want to color on the rest of my monster. So what I do is I take the marker, I put a piece of paper underneath it, and I just go around the edge. And that makes the teeth pop out a little bit more on the top and the bottom. And I do that on the eyes too, just because it helps make their shapes more clear. But I think it can be kind of fun. You can add scales to your monster. You could add squiggles or hair or whatever you want with the marker. The marker is like an extra fun detail part on top. You could add extra eyeballs, you can add arms, you can add whatever you want. It's up to you. And this doesn't have to be the only one you make. You can make a bunch more. So when I was a kid, I used to make monsters all the time, make puppets for myself, and just have a good time. So if you're stuck inside and you want to have some fun, why don't you make a monster today?